Hey everyone, Cameron Makarchuk here, owner of Blue Phoenix Fitness and fitness instructor at Red River College. Wanted to come here and just take you through a quick little cool down stretching routine. So this is something you can do typically after your workouts. So either after a hard strength training workout or after some kind of cardiovascular type workout, like going for a run or something like that. So after an activity like that, your heart rate's gonna be pretty elevated. So before we get into the stretching flow I'm going to take you through in the few stretches, I'm actually going to take you through a quick breathing reset. So what we want to do is take you from a very high intensity, heart rate elevated state and bring you down into more of a relaxed state, which is then going to help us get into a nice stretching rhythm right after that. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys through something called box breathing. And so all you're going to do is lay down on your back, palms facing up, and I'm just gonna have you take a few nice deep breaths. Now, there's gonna be 4 stages, and each stage is gonna be held for a 4 count. So we're gonna inhale for a count of 4, we're gonna hold for a count of 4, we're gonna exhale through your mouth for a count of 4, and then we're gonna hold the exhale for a count of 4, okay? And now typically you would do this 4 times, which is then gonna bring your body down to a nice relaxed state. Okay, so let's give that a try. So we're gonna inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And then exhale for a count of 4. Then hold the exhale for a count of 4. And then repeat. One more time. Good. So you should feel your body start to kind of relax after that. And if you need to, you can do that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times and really ease into that nice relaxed state. However long it takes you, you just want to make sure your heart rate's coming down and you're moving into that more relaxed state before you get into the stretching, okay? But now that we are, we'll start on your back still, and we're gonna do just an alternating knee hug. So for each of these stretches, I'm gonna have you hold for at least 20 seconds, if not longer. Today we'll just do about 20, 30 seconds each, but feel free, if you really want to get some nice stretching and mobility and flexibility benefits, feel free to hold these for 20, 30 seconds, all the way up to a minute or 2, depending on how much time you have and how much you're looking to improve your flexibility with this. So we'll just hold that nice knee hug stretch. Take a couple nice deep breaths in as you're doing this. And then we'll switch. Same thing, other side. Just pull in nice and tight. A couple nice deep breaths. You don't want to be holding your breath while you're doing this, because that's just going to kind of defeat the purpose. You want to breathe nicely in and out, nice and calmly. Okay, then after that one, I'm going to have you bring both knees in. And with this one, what I want you to do is just very slowly rock side to side. Now what this is going to do is give your lower back, your QL, a nice little massage. Okay, so a lot of people have lower back pain and tight QL muscles in their low back, and this is actually a really nice stretch and a nice little massage to do if that's the case, and that should feel pretty nice. Okay, hold that. Good. So then we'll come up, and just like in the mobility warm-up that I took you guys through before, we're going to get into that nice 90-90 position here. Okay, so 90-90. You're going to keep your chest up. And now with this one, though, I want you to hold a little bit more. So You're gonna come down and just hold. You wanna find a stretch. Should feel a bit of a stretch across the hip on this leg. And you're just gonna take a couple nice deep breaths. Ease into it a little bit more. Ease a little bit more. Good. Good. Now from this position, we're also going to do another low back stretch. So from here, come down onto your forearm on this side. And then all you're going to do is take this arm up here, and I want you to reach as far as you can with it and swoop around. Okay? Come up, reach as far as you can, and right about there is where you should feel a nice stretch across the low back. Reach for it. Okay? Come up, and we're going to switch. Same thing on the other side. 90, 90. We're going to ease into that stretch. Okay? You can use this hand to brace you a little bit if you need to, because you don't want to have too much contraction on this leg. You want to really be able to relax this leg and just let your body fall into that stretch, finding the stretch on this outside hip. Deep breath. Exhale as you lean into a little bit more. Okay, good. And release that. And then we're going to get into that low back stretch again. So from here, come up, reach as far as you can. Find that stretch, just nice and slow, not too fast. Come up, around, reach, find that stretch. Again, you should be feeling this right about here. And as you move around there, across your low back. Okay. From here, we'll move into just a very basic hamstring stretch. So just that nice basic single leg, one foot in at your knee. Now with this though, a common mistake that people do with this is they just try to reach for their toes like this. So that's not really doing anything. You're getting a bit of a hamstring stretch, but that's not the best way to do that. So what you want to do is instead of that, think of keeping your chest up, okay? And then instead of reaching, think of pushing your belly button towards your foot. So when you're here, I want you to just lean, push your belly button forward, and that you should feel a lot more of a stretch here without having to reach forward and wrench your back, okay? So just lean into it, find that stretch down the back of that leg. Again, a couple nice deep breaths. Really trying to relax into these stretches as you're holding them. Again, you can hold any of these stretches for, upwards of a minute or two. If you really want to sink into it, you'll find as the longer you hold it, the more relaxed that muscle gets, and you can sink a little bit deeper into it. Okay, we'll release that, and we'll switch. Same thing, other side. Chest up, and pushing your belly button towards your toe. Okay, a couple nice deep breaths. You should be feeling a nice stretch on the back of this leg right here. Okay, good. So then with this is going to be a little bit more of an advanced one, and you might not be able to get into this position, but I'll show you a pigeon stretch. So this is a really common yoga stretch, but it's really good. It's kind of a more advanced version of that 90-90 stretch that we did before. But if you can do it, it's a really good one to practice. So basically, all we're going to do is come up here into almost like a push-up position. And I want you to take one foot, and you're going to bring it up. Okay? And then you're just going to sit down as far as you can. Okay? Trying to keep this foot up as much as possible. Again, a couple nice deep breaths. Now, if you want, you can also come down into your forearms here, or if that's not comfortable, you can stay up up here like this. If you have really tight hips, like my hips are pretty tight, so this is a stretch that I do quite a bit. But if you have really tight hips, this is going to be a very tight position to be in, and it might not be overly comfortable. But you want to try to relax in it as much as possible. Okay, then we'll switch sides. We'll shake that leg out a little bit and come in on the other side. Okay, again, depending on your flexibility and hip mobility, this will be easier or harder. Some people can get their foot way up here. Other people have a hard time even getting into this position, so it just really depends. Do whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so this one, again, you should be feeling a nice stretch across the outside of the hip right here. Couple deep breaths. As we just relax into that stretch. Good. Okay, then we'll stay down on your mats. We're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So again, very similar to the mobility one that I had you do, except this time we're going to hold the stretch position. So from this position, I want you to keep your back toe into the ground. Okay, that's going to give you leverage to push forward on. And I'm just going to have you drop your hips down. Okay, find that nice stretch across the front of the hip. Okay, take a nice deep breath. And then I want you to squeeze your bum on this side. As you squeeze your bum on this side, that's going to push your hips down a little bit more. And you're going to find a bit more of a stretch across the front of that hip. Okay, this is a really great exercise to do if you sit a lot, if you find yourself sitting at a desk a lot or driving a lot, just sitting in general. This is a great stretch to do. Also alleviates a lot of low back pain. If people's hip flexors are tight, that pulls on the hips and generates low back pain often. So doing this stretch is really great to open that up. Okay, then we'll come back and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, again, toe in the ground, chest up, and we'll just sink down into that nice stretch. Okay, try not to lean on this knee either. You want to keep your chest up as you're doing this, and drop your hips down, finding that stretch, and then squeeze your bum on that one side. We'll make it a little bit more on that side. Okay, a couple nice deep breaths. Okay, good. Okay, so then after that one, we're gonna move into a downward dog stretch. So this one, we'll go hands into that little bit of a push-up position, feet about shoulder width apart, and we're just gonna pop ourselves up into that downward dog. Now I want you to keep your legs straight with this, and that's gonna give you more of a hamstring stretch. So we'll hold for a couple seconds to get that hamstring stretch, okay? And then from there, you're going to kind of march your heels, which is going to give you a bit more of a calf stretch in your lower leg. Okay? So let's march back and forth on that, nice and slow. Back down. Now from there, we're going to move into a frog stretch. So a frog stretch is going to get on the inside of your legs, on the inside of your thighs and your adductors. So this is an often neglected place, and it's really important to keep those muscles stretched out. So what we're going to do, this one, you have to take this one really slow also, otherwise you could risk straining some of those muscles in there, especially if you've never done this stretch before. But I want you to get into, you're going to bring your knees apart, okay? So knees apart as much as you can comfortably do. I want your feet straight, okay? So 90 here, 90 here. And then all I'm going to have you do is come down to your forearms. Now, from your forearms here, I want you to very slowly push your hips back until you can feel a stretch on the inside of your legs right here on both sides. Now, when you feel that bit of a stretch, take a couple nice deep breaths and just hold that position for a couple seconds. Again, try not to push back too much with this one. Just find that nice stretch and just relax into it. And then very slowly pull yourself forward out of the stretch and up, okay? And then just nice and slow bring yourself out of it. So after that one, we'll move into just a laying quad stretch. So you can do this one standing up also, but a simple way to do this, just laying on one side, grab your ankle, and just a very simple basic quad stretch. You can pull back a little bit more and get a bit of a deeper stretch, as well as a little bit of a hip flexor stretch with this also, but whatever you're comfortable with. Try not to wrench on your leg back. Keep your chest up, hips level, and just pull your heel or your ankle towards your bum. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So keep that nice chest up position, ankle towards your bum, and you can pull back a little bit more if you need to. Excellent, good. To wrap up, we're gonna do 2 more stretches just over at this pole right here. So just follow me over here. We'll take 2 more stretches and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so now that we're over here, we're gonna do 2 really quick upper body stretches. The first one being a chest stretch. So what we're gonna do is find some kind of wall or something to hold on to, and one hand up against the wall and just open up, okay, so that you're stretching out this part of your chest here. A couple nice deep breaths. Okay, we'll do that on both sides. Okay, switching, chest up, stretching out that front of the chest. Okay, and for the last one, you need something sturdy that you can hold on to. We're gonna take both hands and grabbing hand over hand like that, and we're gonna get a lat stretch through here. And also it's gonna stretch a little bit through the low back as well. So hand over hand, grabbing a pole for something sturdy. You're just gonna sink into it, okay? And you should feel a nice stretch through the lats here as you sink back. You just hold that. That should feel pretty good. You'll feel that a bit through the low back as well. Hold that, couple nice deep breaths. Okay, and we'll slowly come out of that, and that's it. So that's a nice little stretching routine. Takes you basically, from the ground, starting with a breathing reset, all the way up. Hits all the major muscle groups and should help with your flexibility and your recovery moving forward. So if you like stuff like that, be sure to check out the Red River College website, or come back here for more, or you can find me at bluephoenixfitness.com.